Okay, you guys, I found my good headset, which is nice. I also found my good microphone, but I have to find the cables for it. So eventually I'll find those and then I'll have a better microphone as well. But for now, I have a headset so I can hear these videos better. And I need to cover this because this is ridiculous. It is 100 and F that degrees outside. And so I just decided I was gonna, watch some YouTube videos. And I stumbled across this one, which has a very clickbait title that already makes me angry. So the title is State Police Sergeant Pit Maneuvers Pickup into Innocent Bystander. Okay? So immediately, any half-wit out there, which is what happened, is going to be like, yeah, cop's bad, I'm going to watch that, and I'm immediately going to believe the title, and I'm going to talk about how bad the cops are, and what a horrible job he did from the safety of my safe space behind my keyboard. So we're going to watch it together, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what happened, because that's not what happened. I mean, I'm not going to explain exactly what happened. I'm not a cop, but I know a lot more than the average person, and I certainly know more than the people in the comments on this video. You would think I would learn at this point to not read comments, because it always increases my blood pressure to a very unhealthy level, especially when the comments match the lying clickbait title. So this is Arkansas Chases. I am not trying to bash the channel. I don't like clickbait titles. I don't like clickbait, like fake AI thumbnails. I think it's a horrible way to go. I think it's detrimental to society for obvious reasons. When you see this video and I explain to you some of the comments, I think that most of you will agree it's never a good idea to simply lie in your title for clickbait, because you know that you're going to get all the cop haters that are going to come in and be like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that, blah, 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 when they're 100% wrong. So here we go. Let's watch it. Reason for stop, almost hits a trooper. Okay, so second here, you're going to see a red F-150 come dangerously close to hitting this trooper in the median, right there. And he was way over the line and literally almost hit that trooper. So obviously now the trooper's going to go after this guy, right? That's how it works. And I would expect nothing less. What if that was an innocent civilian? Since everybody is so concerned about the innocent civilian that the trooper supposedly, pit this vehicle into, which is not what happened. But since everyone is so concerned about that innocent civilian, which they should be, why are they not concerned about the fact that if this wasn't a trooper sitting there, if this had been someone broke down in that emergency lane, right in that spot, changing a tire or, had their hood up and weren't paying attention because they were looking at their engine because something was wrong, and that guy was that far over the line and hit him. So I would expect nothing less than this trooper to go after this guy after he nearly ran into him. People, man, I tell you what. I get so sick and tired of people focusing so much more on police and what they might be doing right or wrong versus the criminal who's the one who's doing the wrong things. So the driver pulls over and he makes Trooper Earls pass him. So watch on the right side of the screen. That red pickup pulls over to the right side and makes Trooper Earls go past him, and then he has to pull over as well and back up. He's right there on the right hand side of your screen, pulled over. Already it's a shit show, already. And not anything to do with the trooper, this guy, this person driving this truck. It's already a shit show. So far, not only did this person nearly rear end or sideswipe the trooper sitting in the center median, but then he very quickly cut across 3 lanes of interstate traffic to pull to the right. Sounds like an excellent driver. And speaking of body cams, I'm sorry, I know, but I'm so fired up over the comments in this video because so many people are so uneducated and they don't even bother to take the tiniest bit of time to learn. It's not that difficult to educate yourself, especially with all the information that's available to you at literally a touch of a finger. Someone said, it's 2026 and they still don't have body cams. Disgusting. Well, body cams aren't free. and somebody has to pay for it. So are you going to donate them? They're between $400 and $700 for professional police body cams, and there are roughly 586 Arkansas troopers in the entire state of Arkansas. So quick math on that is about $300 and something thousand. So unless there is an approval or it's in the budget, which it's probably not, then who's going to pay for it? Are you going to pay for it? You're so adamant that they have body cams when they have dash cams and microphones. Go donate $400,000 worth of body cams. Problem solved. Okay, back to the video. So now he has to back down the interstate to get closer to this guy because of the way he cut across 3 lanes of traffic to pull over. Probably hoping that the trooper was just going to fly by and nothing would happen. Dim-witted comments, man, I tell you what. Get so tired of it. It doesn't take that long to educate yourself.
How are y'all? Well, hop back in the truck for me. What are you doing outside the truck?
Taking the wires because if something slipped, it felt like something slipped when we came around the curve coming down off the hill.
Yeah, well, go ahead and hop back in the truck for me before I get done with y'all.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear that. This is one of the reasons why I'm wearing headphones right now, is because I wanted to be able to hear the conversation that was happening between them when he made contact with them after he backed down the interstate to have to get to them. He said, "Why are you guys outside of the truck?" And I'm assuming the driver said, so I was checking some wires, I went around the corner, it felt like something slipped or something. And then he asks them to get back in the truck so that he can talk to them.
I'm sure we're over the Arkansas State Police. The reason I'm pulling you over is because you almost hit me.
I was a little bit fast, I'm sorry.
That and what? You almost hit me. Do what?
That's what the said.
Oh, I sure freaking know that.
I'm sorry.
You have your insurance? How about you? You got an ID?
Okay, this is another thing that's in the comments that people are ignorantly losing their minds over, apparently, is that he asks the passenger for his ID. And they're like, you don't have, as a passenger, you don't have to give your ID. Now, I haven't actually looked this up myself, but some of the replies were, all you have to do is look it up, that's wrong. In Arkansas, apparently, you do. Now, the only thing that I know for sure is that if you're not wearing a seatbelt, then they have the right to ask for your identification. But according to some of the replies to that comment, they are saying that they looked it up, and yes, you do have to show your ID, even as a passenger. So I don't know which is, more correct, because I haven't looked it up yet. But that's exactly why I wouldn't comment something like that, because I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I wasn't expecting almost to get hit either.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I need an ID off of you. What's your name? What? Phil or Philip? Which birthday? Six what?
So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. There's a lot of wind noise. There's a lot that we can't even really hear. Obviously, there's not a lot to see, aside from right here where it's telling us that the driver of the vehicle gave Trooper Earls the correct name. It will later be discovered that the passenger gave a false name. So that's another thing. the people in the comments saying, you know, you don't have to provide your ID, blah, blah, blah. Well, then, but he gave a false ID. So why didn't, if he didn't want to give his real name, why didn't, if that's true, why didn't he just say, I don't have to give you my ID? It's so frustrating. All right, we're going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to skip to where he makes them pull in front of him.
Okay, vehicles telling recovery and
Okay, so here, he's pulling, you know, he wanted them in front, so they're in front of the camera, he's behind them. Procedurally.
I'm going to be out in Michigan, Edward Henry 4666. EH 4666. It's a red Ford F-150.
That license plate, 4666. So this is another thing. So he just called out the correct information, right? He gave the license plate, and he gave that it's a red Ford F-150. There is a comment with a timestamp because after some things transpire, he hops back in his cruiser and he calls it a white F-250. And this person pointed that out. Okay, well, apparently you have never misspoke in your entire life. So good for you, right? Like, most of these people have no idea what adrenaline does to the body and the brain. None whatsoever. I've seen comments where they will see cops shaking in a video and be like, oh, he must be so scared, look at him shaking. That's adrenaline, and that is absolutely 100% uncontrollable. You do not stop shaking until the adrenaline wears off. You will shake violently at times when you have that much adrenaline pumping through your body. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the video.
24, 44, 43.
I'm sorry, it's going to be 1024.
Now, I also want to make it clear, just real quick, before we go any further, that I have watched literally thousands of body cam and dash cam videos, and so this is where I get most of my information. I also have been friends with police officers, you know, whatever, my whole life. I have just tried more to educate myself rather than just be that ignorant person that just follows the crowd and is like, oh my God, that's right, ACAB, ACAB. Well, you wouldn't be saying ACAB if you were ever a cop for a day and had to deal with a mom putting her baby in the microwave. Okay? Because those are real things that cops have to deal with. So. Skip ahead a little more here. I think he goes up and pulls the driver out. So, yeah, here he goes right there. Now this coming up right here, I also want to point out, is exactly how you handle a law enforcement officer asking you to step out of the vehicle. Exactly. This driver was actually extremely compliant, extremely nice. You know, he seemed kind of like a dummy, but he wasn't trying to be a douchebag, at least from my perspective. And he definitely, you know, didn't resist or do any sort of, oh, I don't have to get out, you know, all that stupid crap that most people try to do nowadays.
How about real quick? Come talk with me. We're going back to my car.
See, hops out. He's not aggressive.
Come back to my car with me. You got any weapons or anything on you? Sure. I'm gonna check you real quick.
Driver is detained and trooper rules will question him on the passenger's identity.
Hey, boy, so what's the deal with your driving?
I was just speeding up. I got mad at my partner,
What's your partner's name?
John.
Yeah, he's freaking lying to me, ain't he?
I don't know, sir.
Well, you heard exactly what he told me. What's his name?
His name is J.D.
What's his first name?
J.D. Oh,
What's his initial, or what's his last name?
J.D. Smith.
Here's the deal. You're already in the back seat of my car. It ain't gonna be that hard to arrest you for hindering apprehension and give me a false name.
I'm not lying to you.
What's his last name?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
What is it?
J.D.
61.
How long have you known JD?
61.
Not very long.
If I can advise, I'm 97. Coming
Maybe a week or
A week or two?
Sure.
You've been riding around with this guy for a week or two?
No, he's not been right there.
What's his last name?
I'm trying to kid him. Smith.
His last name's J.D. Smith.
I'm trying to tell you my best.
All right, what's his first name?
James Davis.
James, is there any weapons in that truck?
No, sir. No, sir.
Has he got any weapons on him?
No, sir.
Hop out here real quick. Do what?
Watch the back window. Watch the back window.
To convict him. I need you to hop out here and talk with me real quick.
I can talk to you right here. I want to tell you something. So right here,
Yeah.
this is dangerous son of a bitch.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
And help me, I can help you.
Okay. Why don't you hop out?
I'm not gonna get out.
You're gonna get out or I'm gonna get you out.
He said, I'm not going to get out. And I'm sure you could hear the trooper. He said, you're going to get out or I'm going to get you out. And then he goes, why? It's just like a freaking toddler, man.
You done lied to me once.
What you say that?
Hop out.
I haven't lied to you at all.
I haven't lied to you at all.
Phil Moore.
Okay. Phil, hop out.
I ain't done nothing wrong.
Watch the back window.
Hop out for me real quick.
Here he goes. Watch. Here he goes. He just jumped over to the driver's seat.
6-2, let her go.
See, now, you would also have the nitwits in the comments saying, which I didn't see any yet, but I've seen it before, saying, oh, I can't believe the trooper just let him get in the car, or, hop over the seat like that and take off. Well, what is he supposed to do? Genius. Explain that to all of the rest of us who have a brain. What exactly was he supposed to do? First of all, the door was locked, and he kept telling him to unlock the door and hop out. Secondly, he has someone in custody in his back seat. So he is responsible for that person that's in custody in his back seat. So if he breaks that window and he starts fighting with this guy on the side of the interstate and the guy manages to get into the driver's seat anyway and takes off with the trooper in the truck with him, then that guy in the back seat of his patrol car is sitting on the side of the interstate in a very vulnerable position, and if the car got hit from behind and that guy got injured, then the state is liable and that trooper is liable because he left someone in custody in his patrol vehicle, right? But I don't think people see beyond their hatred enough to think things through and understand what's actually going on. Of course he saw him jumping over into the driver's seat, but he already knew there's not a whole lot he could do because he has someone in the back seat of his patrol vehicle, for one thing. So Dum-Dum here takes off like the dum-dum that he is, and now the trooper can't pursue him with lights and sirens at high speed because he has someone in his backseat in custody and he is responsible for their safety. So he follows this dumbass as best he can.
He take off my truck?
6-2, passenger in that truck took off with me. I'm 1015 with one.
That's my
If you can get one to go get it, it's that white Ford F-150.
See, right there, he said white Ford F-150, but he's experiencing an extreme dump of adrenaline right now because of what just transpired, and he's not thinking clearly, and he misspoke and said white. Like, the person who commented, white Ford F-150, question mark? Yeah. Have you ever been in that situation before? Probably not. Passenger takes off. He chooses to follow and not chase, okay? The guy in the back seat said, is he taking off in my truck? And I also just wanted to point out, for those who may not know, that echo that you heard when he first got in this squad car and he got on the radio and was saying that he was taking off, that's because he had his handheld radio turned up at the same time, and it causes an echo like that. So he immediately realized that, turned it back down, and then was able to, get rid of that echo. That's why that happens. I'm gonna fix my headphones. They're falling off my head. Oh, my Lord. You guys, it is so hot outside. It's making me so cranky. I know it's summer and all, but man, it's too hot this summer.
I've got the one in the back of me. I'm just following it.
I should move over here. Seatbelt, seatbelt, seatbelt.
The F-150 is still there. We have 10-11 for that. You got 110-15, and you're just following the one that's running?
Yeah, he's eastbound on 40 at the 142.
Also, seatbelts. Wear your seatbelt. I used to hate seatbelts. I absolutely hated it. I never wore it until I started watching a lot of these videos and saw so many people that like roll their car like 14 times and just hop right out versus people that weren't wearing seatbelts and get ejected and, don't make it. So, very damn seatbelt. They're annoying, but I think dying would be a little more annoying.
Yep.
Right, so he's just following and
One
he's
motor
trying,
rocket got the tail end. He's running on foot.
he's trying to keep an eye out.
Negative, he's running on in that red Ford.
10-4, give me that description one more time. I'm on 430, but I'll look at for it when I get there.
Red Ford F-150, Michigan 28. It'll be Edward Henry 4666.
10-4. 23.
Oh, I see him up there.
Camp Robinson trying to get back to 40 on
I think.
140.
Took the exit.
Right, 28 on 430 north. I'm headed that way.
That looks like he took the 142 and going eastbound.
Can you see if a Pulaski County unit's close? I'm here at the 142, but I've got this Yep.
Looks like he took the 365 south, headed back towards Camp Robinson.
Come out to me, hopefully. Be there safe. Here, you calling him?
Negative, I got this 1015 with me. I'm gonna come up here to 61's location.
10-15 guy, and the guy that's in custody. So at one point, this guy in the back seat, I think, tells him to like go after him. Like I don't want him taken off my truck or something like that. It's kind of funny.
Hey, there's the door. I'll come to the
You see him?
Yep.
Not yet.
Stop him.
Do you see him? Stop him. He's trying.
He ain't got no business in my truck.
He ain't got no business with my truck. Yeah. Be careful the company you keep.
Four-wheeler rock coming around 365. Careful.
He's gonna drop
61,
this
you care if
guy
I dump
off
this guy with you?
with another trooper.
That's what I was planning on.
Hang out here with this trooper.
You may get out.
Yeah, I want you to get out.
Okay. 20 four-wheeler rock. I'm not gay. I'm getting
Hey, he's not cuffed. You might as well go ahead and cuff him too.
I'll get it. Go on, man.
You go on, get. Cutest thing, so positive moment, funny moment here just for a second. Cutest thing I've ever heard in my entire life was my grandson, my youngest grandson. I have 3 grandchildren. My youngest grandson, when he was right around 2 years old, the daycare that he went to, she says, "Go on, get," to like the dogs and stuff, you know, when they're kind of getting in the way or whatever. And he picked up on that, and his favorite phrase for months was, "Go on, get." Coming from a like 2-year-old little boy. Oh, the cutest thing ever. Okay. I felt like we needed that little moment there, and we'll get back to it here. All right, so now this is Sergeant Michael Bain. This is the sergeant who's mentioned in the title. It says 10 minutes later, the suspect passes Sergeant Bain and other troopers. So if you look on the left, he's coming up. He's going to meet him right here on the left. Right there. Boom. Okay? And this is the part where I'm going to get real flippin' heated, and I'm probably going to pause it a lot, because there's a lot of things that need to be pointed out to these dim-witted commenters who think they know better than a trooper who went through the academy and all the necessary training to do his job safely and properly and according to policy, okay? If there's one thing on this planet that bothers me more than just about anything, it's headline readers who read a title or they read a headline and they just take that as the 100% truth, accurate information, and then immediately form their opinion based on that, right? No critical thinking skills whatsoever. Just immediate hate because they read a headline or a title that sparked something in them that gives them validation to just hate for no reason. So the first thing I'm going to point out is that this is a 2-lane highway. Very dangerous. And when troopers pit, or any law enforcement pits, they have to not only watch out for oncoming traffic, but they also have to watch out on the sides for pedestrians, houses, businesses, everything. They have to take everything into consideration before they pit someone, right? So they're on a 2-lane highway. This guy is hauling butt. You'll see here in a second that he starts intentionally going head on with innocent drivers and running them off the road. Literally running them off the road. Okay, which that in and of itself is extremely dangerous, and he could have hurt someone very badly. People in the comments, oh, he had plenty of opportunities to pit him before this happened. No, actually, he didn't. You weren't there. You don't know, and you're uneducated and have not gone through the training and the shit that he's gone through to become a trooper. So it's best if you just shut your mouth. They are also not supposed to pit on a curve or a hill. Keep that in mind, okay? And just watch this piece of shit. It's gonna enrage you.
1037 past Blue Hill.
1037 past Blue
Into the oncoming lane. He's going wrong way.
1037 for the red Ford F-150.
Double yellow on a curve. Double yellow on a curve. He's going wrong way, intentionally into the oncoming traffic. That's extremely dangerous. And on a hill. Yeah. You hear the sigh coming out of the trooper? I heard it because this criminal, who we should be paying attention to, who I pay attention to, because he's the one that made all these decisions to do this, okay? He is, look at where he's at. And we just came around a curve on a double yellow, which means no passing. And the reason why it's no passing is because you can't see far enough ahead to know if there's another vehicle coming. That's why it's double yellow. For those who just don't know how to drive anymore nowadays, that's why it's double yellow. But he's on the oncoming side of traffic on a curve on a double yellow. And you hear the trooper sigh because he's feeling exactly what I'm feeling. He knows that this guy's going to kill somebody. Sorry, I know I'm fired up, but man, oh man, I cannot stand ignorance. and the lack of critical thinking and not educating yourself. And the fact that you just blame the cops immediately and don't think about the actions of the criminal and what led to it all. It's not like the cop just went out there and decided to ram someone for funsies.
Yeah, I'm on 365 still.
So far, he has given a false name, which means he didn't want to be identified for whatever reason. He has warrants. He's a criminal. Who the hell knows? Obviously, he's a criminal the way he's acting. And then he's fleeing from law enforcement, which is a felony in Arkansas. It's becoming a felony in a lot more states, but I know for a fact that it's a felony in Arkansas. And he is driving on a 2-lane highway at high speed, crossing over a double yellow into oncoming traffic on curves and hills. Sounds like a wonderful, lovely person, doesn't he? But let's focus on the trooper and what the trooper does wrong, shall we? Yeah. Not to mention these commenters that were crying and whining about how the trooper handled how it ended. Nobody gave any sympathy to the trooper and the fact that he's currently right now at this very moment putting his life on the line trying to stop this idiot. And when he crashes, he could have been severely injured as well. But, nobody cares about that because he's just a cop, right? He's expendable because all cops are bastards and we hate them all. Yeah.
Speeds at 80, passing Oat Street, Oat.
Speeds 80, passing Oat.
Oncoming traffic. This piece of shit. Watch, look.
Intentionally crossing to the wrong side.
Intentionally running vehicles off the road. Innocent drivers coming home from picking their kids up from daycare for all we know. What time is it? It doesn't give us the time. Intentionally going head on with innocent motorists, families, grandmothers, your sister, your mother, your brother, your father, your husband.
On the road.
Crossing the north side of the road.
Look.
Still southbound.
And he doesn't stop doing it either.
Passing the hard go.
Southbound highway 365, passing our road.
85.
There you go.
Yep, look, running this guy off the road. There he goes, right here. There he goes. Running that car off the road right there.
Rock, I'm going to take it
Right
out
off the
the
road.
first chance I get. We're at 100. He's intentionally going into oncoming traffic.
And they're going 100 miles an hour. Did you hear that? He just intentionally went head on with that car that had to go over on the side of the road, and they're going 100 miles an hour. But you know what? My bad. Let's focus on what the trooper's doing wrong, shall we? Even though we know nothing about being a trooper. I feel that side. Look at that. Into oncoming traffic. Again.
We're slowing down here at Oak Grove at Green Acres.
So see, right there, he was trying to find a place to pit this guy, but he couldn't safely do it because there's too many innocent civilians around, okay? I feel every sigh that this trooper lets out because this is such a freaking dangerous situation. With all these innocent motorists and the way this guy's driving, he's willing to put so many lives at risk just to not get caught when he's gonna get caught anyway. What kind of freaking lowlife does this shit, right? But let's focus on what the trooper's doing wrong, shall we?
870.
Oncoming traffic again on a single yellow. Okay, well here, let's point that out. This isn't a double yellow, but it is a single yellow on the side that you're driving, which means you cannot pass. The dotted line means they can pass. This line means you can't because you can't see far enough ahead to know if there's a vehicle coming. So he may as well be on the other side of the road on a double yellow because he shouldn't be over there. But let's focus on what the trooper does wrong.
Left lane of travel.
Oh, now it's double yellow on a curve. And he's in the wrong lane of travel. Oh, yep, head on with another vehicle. That's awesome. This guy's great. This guy seems like a real him, doesn't he? So let's focus on what the trooper's doing wrong, shall we? Yeah. Let's get in the comments and talk about how horrible the trooper is and how they chase people and oh my God! Another person said that they shouldn't use vehicles, they should use weapons. This is that whole like shoot the tires thing. Are you people even sane? Do you have any idea that bullets ricochet and go all over the place? Do you know what bullets do at all, ever? Have you ever shot a gun? Have you ever seen a gun get shot? Bullets go crazy places. So you're saying that it would be safer, rather than using the vehicle to stop another vehicle, you should use bullets with a bunch of innocent civilians all over the place. Because crashing into one car wouldn't be bad enough. You want bullets killing people instead. That's genius. Absolutely genius. I think my blood pressure is probably a little too high at the moment, so what's up? Let's go back to focusing on what the trooper's doing wrong, shall we?
Speed 80. Passing Kelly Cross. Passing Kelly Cross with 280. Back off, I got something. Back off.
Oh, he's coming on the wrong side of the road.
He's in the wrong lane. Spikes are in the wrong lane. Missed the spikes.
Now, for anyone who wants to criticize whoever it was that put those spikes out there, the traffic going over the radio was that he was traveling in the wrong lane of travel, which is where that law enforcement officer, whoever it was, I don't know if it was city or state or what, put those spike strips, was in the wrong lane of travel. Because that's where it was going over the radio that this douchebag was traveling. Okay? It really doesn't take a whole lot to logically think and pay attention. It really doesn't. It's not hard. Apparently it is for some people, though, as we've all noticed, I think. So let's go back to what the trooper's doing wrong, shall we? Oh, yeah. Head on again. Awesome. Yep, ran that guy off the road. Oh, ran that guy off the road. Nice! What a lovely person this guy is. So lovely. All right, before we come up to this very terrible, tragic ending where the trooper just did so many things wrong, that's sarcasm, of course, I would like to also explain to the people who have zero clue what they're talking about that patrol vehicles are extremely heavy. Okay, they're beefed up so that they can do these chases and not overheat, and they have better braking systems, they have better everything, right? And they also have cages. A lot of them have cages in the back. They've got gear. They're loaded down with all kinds of stuff that they need when they're on patrol, etc., etc. So they're extremely, extremely heavy. They're a lot heavier than the standard car. Like the same vehicle, which this is a Dodge Charger, the same Dodge Charger civilian vehicle would probably be 1,000 pounds lighter, maybe 500,000 pounds lighter, right? They're extremely heavy. They have the guards on the front. Those are heavy. You name it, right? You get my point, I hope. I know most of you do. And in any vehicle, when you're traveling at high speeds for long distances like this and you're hitting your brakes a lot, which he has to do, but he also has to keep up with this guy, they even get taught in training to watch their brakes and stay off their brakes as much as possible, because what happens is your brakes overheat and then you experience what is known as brake fade, which is basically just you try to slam on the brakes and they just don't freaking work because they're too hot and they slip, they slide, right? They become like oil and they don't work. Okay, that's brake fade. And it happens very often to patrol vehicles and law enforcement officers in their patrol cars because their vehicles are so heavy. And when they're chasing after somebody and they're taking turns and they're hitting their brakes, they're trained, like I said, to not use their brakes as much as possible. But it's pretty freaking hard not to when you're doing what they have to do, right? So now we're gonna see. I'm gonna show you, okay? Make sure you pay attention, please. I would love that. Let's pay attention to what the trooper does wrong, shall we? Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. He almost hit that car. And he almost hit the other car head on. Watch closely. Watch closely. Right here. Watch. All right, listen, we're going to go over that again, but I'm going to explain something to the nitwits out there. First of all, that was not a TVI or a pit maneuver, okay? That was not an intentional contact on the trooper's part. That douchebag in front of him, the criminal, who was actually the one doing all the things wrong that we just saw, slammed on his brakes. Okay? Trooper's right behind him obviously was getting ready to TVI him, try to stop him, but the trooper experienced brake fade. He couldn't stop in time. And the reason why I know this, or I'm just going to say, I'm not going to be one of those ignorant people, but I'm about 90% certain that that's what happened because of how far his patrol vehicle kept going after he slammed into that truck. But the fact remains that this was not a TVI. This was not a pit. This was a crash. And this was a crash that happened because the criminal who's running from the law for whatever dumbass reason slammed on his brakes, forcing the trooper to ram into the back of him. And then what's the trooper supposed to do? It's not the trooper's fault that truck hit this lady, which you're now going to see after this. It hits an innocent civilian, but it's not the trooper's fault. ACAB, right? Oh my God, the cop was so bad. The trooper did so many things wrong. No, actually, he did. He was doing his job, and he was doing it very well. He didn't become a sergeant overnight, okay? They don't give those away for free either. People, man. See, watch. Watch how far he keeps going afterwards. Look how far the trooper's car keeps going afterwards. So tell me. And then, after experiencing that crash, what does Trooper do? He doesn't sit in his patrol car and cry like a little whiny bitch like the people that are in these comments. He gets out and continues doing his job. Something that none of these people in the comments, I think, could ever do. Oh man, I'm getting fired up. But if you notice, you'd see from the different patrol cars' perspective how far his patrol car kept going after ramming into the back of that truck. That tells me brake fade. Hey you guys, so I was just sitting here editing the video, and one thing that I also forgot to mention and that I just noticed was that his brake lights were on the entire time as well, which means he was smashing the brake pedal down the whole way through. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Because if his brakes were working properly, he would have been able to ram into the back of the truck, but stop, right? It's physics, people. Good God. Oh, that is loud. So what did we learn, guys? It's not the trooper's fault, it's the criminal's fault. It's the guy that stole his partner's or his buddies or whoever's pickup and ran from the cops, intentionally going head-on with innocent civilians on a 2-lane highway, on corners and freaking hills on a double yellow. Literally running people off the road. Nearly rear-ending that other car, nearly hitting the other car head-on right before he did this. But let's blame the trooper, and let's tell lies on the internet and use clickbait titles and make everyone hate cops thinking that the trooper was in the wrong. This is why I hate clickbait titles. This is why I hate clickbait thumbnails with the fake AI and they add all the extra blood and all the extra shit that didn't even happen in the video, just so you'll watch the video and then comment your stupid, dim-witted opinion that isn't correct because it boosts their engagement and it pushes them out into the algorithm more. So they get what they want, and then society just degrades even further because they wanted to make money, and you guys fell for it. But I want you to hear something. I want you to hear something. Okay, I'm going to try to find it. That trooper, is she okay? How about this? Yeah, ACAB, right? All cops are bastards. Cops bad. Cops so bad. Well, this is the trooper right here. One of the troopers, I'm not sure which one, holding either a child or the woman that was in that vehicle. No, it's a child, I believe. I had to take a second there. He's comforting her. That's the lady that was in the vehicle that got hit by the truck. And he's comforting her. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. She's wrapped around him like a spider monkey. And he's comforting her and telling her, you're okay, just breathe, it's okay. And I mean, I know that, you know, everyone's worst accident is the worst that they know, right? I've been in a lot worse, and I've seen a lot worse, and that really wasn't, you know, super terrible. And she's okay, thank goodness. I appreciate that. I'm glad about that. But this wasn't the trooper's fault. This was this guy's fault. This was his fault right here. The guy that was in this truck right here that was intentionally trying to hurt other people because he's selfish and doesn't want to take any accountability for his own actions. That's whose fault this was. This trooper right here, and I don't know which one it is. I don't think it's the one that crashed, but it's one of them, obviously, is gently and kindly comforting this woman. She is literally attached to him like a little spider monkey. It's very sweet. Like, I had to take a little teary-eyed moment there, because all the dimwits that want to make these terrible comments just because they hate cops, because they've been indoctrinated and the propaganda has done its job and made them think that they should hate all cops because all cops are bastards and all cops are bad. It's the human element of any job. You're gonna have bad seeds. Of course there are bad cops, and I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm not going to go into any situation just immediately assuming one or the other. I'm going to use my critical thinking skills and my logic and pay attention to details and not be a dumbass and just immediately decide that the trooper was at fault because they crashed and an innocent lady got hit. It was the criminal's fault. The criminal who, as I said before, was willing to hurt or kill innocent people to avoid taking accountability for his own actions. When are we going to start doing that? When is anyone going to start taking accountability for their own actions? I'm getting real damn tired of it. And I guarantee you the people that are commenting the stupid ass comments on this video, on the original video, are people that probably don't take accountability for their dumbass actions either. And that's why they just are so quick to blame the cops, because it's easier. Or blame anyone else except for themselves, because it's easier. It's not easier. Because what's happening is you're degrading society. You are turning society into a dumpster fire, and nobody cares. And then they're all helping her up. She's having a little bit of a panic attack, she's having a little bit of a panic attack, which is understandable. I can hear by her breathing that she's kind of hyperventilating a little bit. And that's understandable. That's freaking scary, man. I can only imagine how fast that looked to her coming at her the way that it did, And she's just sitting there minding her own damn business, going about her day, and this freaking douchebag decided to be a criminal and put her life at risk. So this was in January of 2022 at 2 in the afternoon. I was wanting to get a time on that. So 2 in the afternoon, when people are just going about their day, minding their own damn business, and this stupid asshole is out there. Oh, Lord. Not for nothing. I'm going to take this in a little bit of a less stressful direction because my blood pressure needs to come down, but it almost makes me want to go, have a little fender bender or something and then have a panic attack just so I can be surrounded by 3 big troopers comforting me like that. Dude, he's huge. Is that Trooper Earls? That's a big boy right there. Oh my Lord, disconnect that battery, guys. I know they're busy with other things, though. I'm not being that person. That's the other thing you'll see is be like, oh my God, turn your sirens off. Oh my God, disconnect the battery. Well, they're kind of busy right now. They're trying to comfort the lady who just got hit by the criminal asshole. They're focused on other things. And anyone who wants to criticize a cop for not turning his sirens off before he jumps out of his patrol vehicle while he's like being shot at, or someone is trying to hurt someone else and he's trying to go save the person that's about to be hurt by this person, you really need to check your freaking reality and your priorities and figure out what the hell is making you so dumb. So I can't hear what they're saying because right now we are listening to Trooper Earl's microphone and he's getting a little bit out of line with his patrol vehicle. What happens with their microphones is when they get too far away from them or they get out of line with them, then their microphone starts cutting out. But I can kind of, it sounds like the criminal is like blubbering and whining and crying and maybe one of the troopers is yelling at him. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that, but I guess maybe that's what I'm hoping is happening. Holy moly. Oh my God. Apparently I need to go break the law in Arkansas. Woo! Look at this beef bus. That dude is a monster. What a unit he is. So he's local police, and I don't know what town they're in, but I'm about to find out. No, I'm just kidding. Nice. That's a big boy.
62 Little Rock, you got me in and out.
What? Oh, I can't read his patch.
We'll need 2 1011s as well.
2 1011 is going.
It must be. Is it Little Rock? Maybe that says LRPD on his arm, which would be Little Rock Police Department, obviously. Well, there's more to this video. I'm going to skip over to, I believe there's another angle, another view.
Yep.
There he is.
Woo! Man! Flying. Just rolling. And that's the dumbass who's doing that, not the troopers. They're not just out for a joyride going 100 miles an hour on the 2-lane because they feel like it. There's that car he almost hit, rear-ended, and then at the same time almost went head-on with the other vehicle in the other lane. He almost killed so many people this day. Yeah, see how far his patrol vehicle goes?
25 Little Rock started 1016 and 1011. Show me your fucking head! Show me your head! This way! Hey, check her! I got him! Hey, check her!
Ending in a pit TVI. No, it didn't end in a pit TVI. It ended in a crash. That just enrages me. Plus, he doesn't have any of the police report available or anything like that. He just throws up a video, puts a little clickbait title on there that people will click on because they hate cops and they want to see a cop mess up so that they can just prove their point. And then they watch it and they're already biased and thinking that the cop is doing everything wrong, even though they have no idea how to be a cop, how to be a trooper, policies and procedures and brake fade and the criminal going head on with innocent civilians. They just don't know and they don't care. They just want to hate cops. Oh, I guess you can't fix stupid. It all really actually boils down to having self-worth of yourself, right? Because if you have self-worth, then you don't want to be someone who spreads misinformation or who believes lies or untruths. You would want to be someone who's knowledgeable in the truth, right? Sometimes the truth is hard to find, but in cases like this, it's not. It doesn't take that much to educate yourself. It really doesn't. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. I'll quit ranting. I'll quit rambling on. Any law enforcement officer in this country would save your life. Even if they knew that you had commented the things that you had commented, they would still save your life. They would still pull you out of a burning car. They would still pull you out of a burning home. They would still save you from an attacker. You know, they would still help you change a tire on the side of the fucking highway. They don't go on calls and then decide they're not going to help someone because that person has a specific sign in their front yard or a specific bumper sticker on their car. They go and they help people of all walks of life. No questions asked, because that's their job. That's the oath that they took, right? But everyone just immediately thinks of cops and thinks of getting pulled over and getting in trouble. We all do, right? We all get that pit in our stomach when there's a cop behind us, even if we're doing everything right and we're all legal. I do, but I'm completely legal. But I still get that pit in my stomach if there's a cop behind me. Everybody does. Everybody has little issues with authority, but you got to see past that, man. You got to grow up one day and realize that, you know, life is a lot deeper than just black and white. Oh, it's a cop, so I hate it, right? I'll quit rambling. I said I was going to quit rambling, and then I didn't quit rambling. So, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey you guys, I just finished editing and I just wanted to quickly go over a couple more things. If you notice in the thumbnail, the trooper's patrol vehicle is underneath the back end of that pickup, which in and of itself shows that he crashed into him due to him slamming on his brakes and the trooper probably experiencing brake fade, which I will stand on that with all 10 toes, even though I can't stand up. As I was laying in bed last night, I started thinking, you know, why do I care so much? Why did that one video and that one comment section trigger me so much? And it all just boils down to, I hate lies. I cannot stand lies. Never have, never will. My own mother lied to me my whole life, still does. I just absolutely despise lies. And I also don't like clickbait content. I feel that it is very damaging, and the only thing it accomplishes is the person putting up the content making money while society degrades even further. I am not hating on that channel, to be clear. It's their channel. They can do what they want. I just personally will never, ever do clickbait or clickbait thumbnails. I don't want that kind of audience, period. I would rather do things honestly and forthcoming and grow my channel slowly than do the clickbait thing, spread false information just to earn $1. That doesn't seem worth it to me. It's not worth it to me. I do not want to spread lies and false information, period, ever. And for anyone who might come into my comment section and call me a bootlicker, another term I absolutely despise, by the way, it's not wrong to support the people who would be there for you when you need them. I have needed first responders. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm disabled. One day I woke up and I couldn't breathe. And I am appreciative that there are people on this planet that are willing to put themselves in that position, which is not an easy position to be in. There's nothing wrong with being appreciative of those people. And I'm not saying that all of them are bad or all of them are good, because that's simply an untruth, and I do not like untruths. I am also extremely willing to call out a bad cop or a bad EMT or a bad doctor or a bad nurse, because believe me, they're out there, and I will be the first one to call them out, because then they tarnish that profession. A bad cop tarnishes the badge. A bad cop makes all the rest of them look bad when I know personally that they're not.